UFC 270 gave fans a heck of a show. Sean O'Malley threw shade at Cody Stamann following Spartan's mid-card fight. Stamann went up against Said Nurmagomedov and was finished via guillotine choke in less than a minute of the first round. So stay tuned and don't go away, because Sean O'Malley makes fun of Cody Stamann following UFC 270 loss. I think he has short man syndrome, plus other UFC news. First up, how did Stamann and O'Malley beef flare up? You're about to find out. 27-year-old Sean O'Malley poked fun at fellow 135-pounder Stamann for his loss, saying, "He's so worried about me," and then he goes out there and does that and he looks stupid. It's like, keep my name out of your mouth. Is he on a 3-fight loser streak? I think he's got short man syndrome. Before Stamann's bout, he said he planned on calling out O'Malley after emerging victorious at UFC 270. But unfortunately for the 32-year-old Stamann, he didn't have the chance to do so. Stamann has only won one of his last 5 fights in the UFC and is currently on a 3-fight losing streak. In all likelihood, Stamann's career is probably on the brink of collapse. O'Malley, however, fully believes he deserves a UFC contract. O'Malley revealed that he had 2 fights left on his current deal and expects a much bigger contract after his contract expires. O'Malley said, "I've got 2 more fights and I'm expecting a pretty good-sized contract. A lot of the fighters say they want to get paid, like, I feel like I truly deserve it. And for Dana to acknowledge that, it shows. I have a good relationship with the UFC and I don't think it's going to be an issue. I don't want it to come down to a Francis Ngannou thing, where Francis is in the media. I was in the media a couple of fights ago talking about money, and I don't want it to be like that." Next up, which fight should you keep an eye on at UFC Vegas 49? Let's take a look. Islam Makhachev will attempt to secure a shot at the lightweight title when he faces Bobby Green in UFC Vegas 49's main event on Saturday, February 26, 2022, on ESPN Plus from inside the promotion's Apex facility in Las Vegas, Nevada. UFC Vegas 49 continues its run of shows inside UFC Apex in Las Vegas with a highly anticipated 160-pound catchweight bout between the number 4 ranked lightweight contender Islam Makhachev versus fan favorite Bobby Green, who is filling in on short notice to replace the injured Beneil Dariush. In UFC Vegas's 49's middleweight co-main event, renowned finisher Misha Cherkanov hopes to secure his first victory in the weight class when he goes toe-to-toe with Wellington Turman. Makhachev was supposed to face Beneil Dariush in the headlining bout, but an unfortunate injury forced Dariush out of the bout and allowed King to step in just a few weeks after scoring a big win over Nasrat Haqparast at UFC 271. The bout will be contested at a catchweight of 160 pounds. So get your popcorn out, because Makhachev vs. Green bout is going to be awesome. Up next, who are Henry Cejudo's top 5 all-time best UFC fighters? Let's have a look. Love him or hate him, Henry Cejudo was a good mixed martial artist. Now retired and new father, Triple C has continually hinted at the possibility of a comeback, and has his sights set on featherweight title holder Alexander Volkanovski. The former UFC bantamweight and flyweight champion is one of the rare few in the UFC's history to have held titles in 2 different divisions simultaneously, and he believes he's earned his spot amongst the top 5 greatest UFC fighters of all time as a result. Cejudo said, "I believe Nurmagomedov's top 10 because he only had 12 fights in the UFC, like me. But if he was to win a second belt and then win another title, then he would even be above me, because that means he would be undefeated." Nurmagomedov retired in October of 2020 with a stellar 29-0 record. Nurmagomedov successfully defended his lightweight crown 3 times. Cejudo's top 5 list is as follows. Canada's Georges St. Pierre at number 5, 1 spot behind Cejudo, who's at number 4. Middleweight kingpin Anderson Silva sits at number 3 spot. Demetrius Johnson is the 2nd best, and Cejudo, the number 1 fighter, is Mr. John Bones Jones. Stay tuned and don't go away, because we're bringing you the latest UFC news. Next up, will Luke Rockhold be stepping into the octagon this summer? You're about to find out. On December 12, 2015, Luke Rockhold made his dream a reality by capturing the UFC middleweight title when he defeated Chris Weidman. The American Kickboxing Academy star was already a title holder in Strikeforce, but how much the UFC title meant to Rockhold was clear, as his emotions ran wild as soon as Herb Dean called off the fight in round 4. Rockhold last fought at UFC 239 in July of 2019 when he made his light heavyweight debut against future champion Jan Blachowicz. Rockhold was supposed to fight at UFC 268 against Sean Strickland, but he suffered an injury and was forced to withdraw. Now, Rockhold is hoping to line up a bout in June of 2022 against title challenger Paulo Costa. Rockhold's ex-teammate Daniel Cormier is curious as to why. Cormier said, "I don't quite understand why he wants to fight so bad. I don't know what Luke has seen in Paulo Costa over the course of his last few fights that makes him want that fight so much. Is it a winnable fight? Absolutely. But is there a lot of danger in that fight? Absolutely. Because we've seen Paulo Costa at his best, and even when he saw him lose his last fight at 205, he still looked pretty good. He was in the fight. So I don't know what Luke saw in that fight that makes him want him. I support the guy, and I'll support the guy until the wheels fall off." Up next, which explosive fight should you keep an eye on at UFC 272? Let's find out. Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington will step into the octagon in less than 2 weeks at UFC 272, and the war of words is escalating. A big reason why the fight has so much interest is that the two actually lived together for a while. There are even old videos of the former best friends wrestling in their living room. They've trained together for years, know all there is to know about one another, and it's this shared history that is now fuel for the fire. In response to a fan Q&A, Masvidal revealed how angry Covington would get over fan criticism. Masvidal said he used to effing read comments and ball up and start to cry. In his interviews at first, when he was nice and would just wrestle guys and was like, "I just want to win," people would just S on him left and right, like saying he's boring and quit the sport. I had to mentor him, but you can't get upset about what somebody that you don't know says. He can't take that criticism. He truly breaks. He tries to hide it, but he's a S poker player, so you can see it. He gets nervous and he gets mad herpes, so he has to wear glasses. His herpes breaks out, and it's effing disgusting. That's why he wears glasses in indoor places. It's crazy, right? Effing pig. Oh boy, something tells me these two are going to punch the crap out of each other at UFC 272. Sounds like this beef runs deep. What do you guys think? Next, why is UFC 274 going to be an action-packed event? You're about to find out. On May 7th, 2022, Justin Gaethje will get another shot at the lightweight title at UFC 274. And believe it or not, that isn't even the main event. Gaethje will take on champ Charles Oliveira, who is coming off of a thrilling title defense victory over Dustin Poirier in December. The bout between Gaethje and Oliveira will be UFC 274's co-main event, while a bout between the light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira, who will make his first title defense against the dangerous Jiri Prochazka, will be the main event. Fights on the card are still being scheduled, and there isn't a set location yet, despite rumors of it being in Rio. Other very interesting fights include a lightweight division bout between Donald Cerrone and Joe Lauzon, who is coming off a 2.5-year layoff. You can also expect an explosive women's bout between Macy Chiasson versus Norma Dumont. If there's one thing we know about Norma, it's that she brings it every time. Also on the card is a bout between Ariane Carnelossi versus Lupita Godinez, Blagoy Ivanov versus Marcos Rogero de Lima, and 2 more bouts scheduled between CJ Vergara and Clayton Rodriguez, and Journey Newson versus Fernie Garcia. Remember, the card for UFC 274 is far from complete, so there will be some additional fights listed, and some already on the schedule could be changed. One thing you know for sure though is that this is going to be a hell of a card. Finally, why was Amanda Nunes off her game at UFC 269? Nunes said, "When I got on the floor, I was already done. From watching the fight and how everything was playing in my head after I got caught, yeah, everybody says I was tired and everything. Okay, they look at me and say, your timing was off. Yeah, I didn't train well for the fight. Of course, you think I showed up 100%, but I did get caught. She really connected a good one, and I wasn't able to recover." That's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching.